Now with 7 First Alert weather, this is 7 Eyewitness News at 11.
I have laid in my own bowel movement for hours. Don't ever put your loved one in here, ever.
Strong words from a nursing home resident in South Buffalo who says she is trapped in a nightmare. Good evening, everyone. That woman turning to the 7 Eyewitness News I-team to get anything to change.
All new at 11, 7 Eyewitness News Chief Investigator Charlie Specht details this woman's disturbing complaints, the facility's troubling history, and what officials had to say when he pushed for answers.
I live in a nursing home.
The call came into the newsroom at 5 a.m., and the caller sounded desperate.
And I need someone to please investigate this place. It is so bad. Please help me.
She was talking about Sapphire Care in South Buffalo. Patients say it's long been a place of last resort, rated 2 out of 5 stars or below average by the federal government.
Oh, if I could only get out of here.
This is Barbara Kent. She's a paraplegic, and she left us that desperate voicemail. Her youngest son, Rick, died at 39, and with no one to care for her, Barbara moved back to Buffalo to be with her sister.
This is the place she found that had an opening. $12,000 a month to live in this rat hole. I mean, I have laid in my own bowel movement for hours.
Barbara has complaints about chronic understaffing, a lack of basic supplies like adult diapers, and nurses so overworked that when Barbara asks for a glass of water at 8 a.m.
I finally got it from the second shift, but not until 3:45 in the afternoon.
Now, the first thing you notice when you come into the nursing home is an overwhelming stench that fills the hallways. In Barbara's room here, you look a little closer and you can see the walls are literally crumbling. There's bad drywall throughout the room and exposed insulation in the bathroom.
Nobody should have to live like this.
Beneath those quality of life issues lie a pattern of serious mistakes detailed in state reports. Government regulators have fined Sapphire $90,000 in recent years for medication errors, hiring criminals, even risking the spread of disease by not cleaning needles. The 7 Eyewitness News I-team took these concerns to management, which put us on the phone with this man, Daryl Sokol, who oversees 3 local nursing homes for the owners who live in New York City. Are you planning on putting any money into the conditions of the rooms and not just the common areas?
Of course, all the rooms are being redone brand new.
Records filed at Buffalo City Hall show Sapphire is in the midst of a $700,000 renovation project of the lobby and therapy area. But there's no mention in those documents of the first floor patient rooms. Sokol said we could interview him, but he never called the I-team back. The Department of Health, in a written statement, tells us it has received multiple complaints and has opened an active investigation pertaining to staffing levels and quality of care.
I wish I could get out of here right now, this minute. I hate it here so bad. I can't take it, Charlie. It's really bad here. Don't ever put your loved one in here, ever.
Now, perhaps the worst mistake anyone has made inside this nursing home involves needles that were not properly cleaned. We spoke with a patient who tested positive for a serious disease after this happened. You can hear her story tomorrow at 6 p.m. If you can't wait until then, we have the entire interview, both of them, posted on our website right now.
Oh, this is stomach churning, Charlie, and hearing her desperate pleas. You feel for her.
She really wants someone, the state, somebody to step in and say, this is enough. You can't live like this.
Thank you, Charlie.
Yeah, important reporting. Thank you very much, Charlie. And also tonight, an update on another I-team investigation surrounding McKinley High School. Principal Crystal Bowling Barton has been on leave for more than 8 months, and now her interim replacement is getting bad grades from his peers. The Buffalo Teachers Federation says 61% of teachers there support a vote of no confidence for Mark Abraham. That vote says he's frequently absent or hard to contact, cites issues with student behavior, and alleges that all restrooms in the school are occasionally locked all at the same time. The district, though, responding tonight saying it has, quote, 100% confidence in the acting principal. The district also calls that vote bogus.
An explosive announcement from Walmart. It's raising the minimum age to buy guns and ammunition at its stores. The retail giant says it will now only sell guns and ammo to those 21 and older. 7 Eyewitness News reporter Hannah Bueller has more on this story. And Hannah, Walmart not the only big name retailer to make a change today.
Yeah, you're right, Ashley. Walmart's not the only one to do this. Just hours this came after Dick's announced it will no longer sell assault-style rifles. And like Walmart, Dick's will also not sell firearms to anyone under the age of 21. Again, this all happening today. Walmart says its decision came as a direct result of discussions surrounding the school shooting in Florida. The new restrictions at Dick's regarding high-capacity magazines and bump stocks will have no impact in New York. These items have been illegal since the SAFE Act became law in 2013. The major change we'll see here at home regarding both retailers is the implementation of a 21-year-old age requirement to purchase firearms and ammunition. And as you can imagine, the move by both Walmart and Dick's proving divisive tonight.
My opinion is that criminals are going to arm themselves with whatever the latest technology is, whatever, if it's an AR-15, if it's, whatever they want to use to carry out the evil that's in their mind. They're going to find it.
And now I think the kids are being heard. These kids today that are sitting in and protesting a little bit, some of the ones that got shot down in Florida, I mean, some of their friends, maybe they'll listen to the kids. They're not listening to us old guys.
Dick's new policy is already in place. Walmart will begin enforcing its changes as soon as possible. And Walmart saying tonight it takes its obligation to be a responsible seller of firearms very seriously. Live in the studio tonight, Hannah Bueller, 7 Eyewitness News.
All right, thank you, Hannah. 7 Eyewitness News looking for answers today from a former Western New York priest who reportedly admitted to repeatedly sexually abusing young boys decades ago.
Excuse me, I'm done.
Are there other minors?
I'm gonna lay down.
That's what Norbert Orsolitz had to say to our crew who tracked him down at his Springville home. Orsolitz, now 78, is quoted by the Buffalo News as admitting he abused, quote, probably dozens of teen boys in the late 70s and early 80s. His name was out there after an alleged victim came forward.
I just think he's a monster. He preyed on innocent kids. He is nothing. And I want the other victims to know that he's nothing. They can step out and see him for what he was and who he is. And that's just a pedophile.
Since New York's statute of limitations on child sex abuse has expired for the alleged victims of Orsolitz, he cannot face any criminal charges. And the Buffalo Diocese sticking by a statement it released yesterday. It says in part, quote, "We will not comment on these particular complaints except to note that Father Norbert Orsolitz was removed from ministry in 2003.
To the weather now as we track a system that's set to bring heavy, wet snow back to western New York just in time for the weekend. Here's 7 First Alert meteorologist Andy Parker.
You got it. Yeah, it's going to be a sloppy mess come Friday morning. Right now outside, it's still pretty mild, 40s and 50s, and it's still on the calendar month of February. As we get to tomorrow, here's how it goes. We're dry in the morning, cloudy start by noon. The rain inches in here. You're going to need the umbrella before you need the snow brush. It'll begin to switch over during the evening hours, but not really stick to the ground. That won't happen until the overnight. Wellsville will be the last to change, and then you can see it continues right through the morning commute. Now, it looks like we are going to go from just a snow shovel to a full-on snow blower storm, and this is of the heavy, wet variety. We've got a map that'll show you how much is going to fall in your backyard coming up.
All right, thank you, Andy. I thought it might be done with the snow blower.
Not just
yet.
Yes,
yeah. Next on 7 Eyewitness News tonight at 11, 2 happy endings following a roller coaster year for one Western New York family.
To see your child, badly injured for anybody is, you're like, put me there. Let's switch.
The special honors these siblings have received.
I've come a long way since I've been there.
Plus, how this woman is giving back to the doctors who saved her life.
But first, why health experts say we need to start looking at obesity the same way we look at being sick. You're watching 7 Eyewitness News on this Wednesday at 11.